Gamers, gals, and my non-binary pals. It's your boy Stevie here, and I wanted to give you guys a day one overview of Master Duel as a whole. Give you guys my pros and cons as someone who's been playing the game for about So, let's just jump straight into it. Obviously, the game looks and feels absolutely great. Obviously, asking Konami to give us the bare minimum of something better than Dueling Book is something that we've done for years, and they've honestly never delivered it. But this game honestly looks and feels amazing, and both really come into fruition when you're playing the game, navigating these menus. It's absolutely an unreal experience to finally have something that's realistically playable for the foreseeable future. It has an amazing UI, an amazing UX when it comes to things such as, say, building decks, and it's all very streamlined and clearly laid out. I think genuinely anyone, whether you're like new to video games as a whole, new to computers, anything, you could probably figure this out within like the first maybe hour. It is very not hard to figure out how all these sort of buttons work. Maybe put like a little tab on like the sub menu, but otherwise absolutely amazing stuff. That plus a lot of customizability is absolutely incredible as well when it comes to saying the pets and icons, which you can see onto your profile over here. You can give yourself like a little pet. It's absolutely amazing, but we'll get more into that a bit later on. Without a doubt, it blows every other simulator out of the water, no question. Secondly, the format ban list. I'm not gonna lie, guys, this shit kind of fucks. I might just be in part of the hype train and just be sort of like rose-colored glasses for the newness of the game, but it definitely does feel like this format is way more explosive, way more fun and exciting compared to, the TCG's current normal summon, Moye, reveal, 10 that we have in the TCG. Obviously, I do have my own issues with cards such as Maxi existing in the format, but overall I am in love with the current state of Master Duel's ranked ladder. It's really just a fun experience for both just playing it and playing against other people, unless you're playing Drytron, so fuck you. Let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room, the economy. It is very funky, to say the absolute least. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always historically been not exactly pay to win, but very much pay to play, and Duel Links really taught players that Konami was very willing to take their pound of flesh from players in regards to microtransactions. And, I mean, they are a pachinko company after all, and that sort of mindset has really translated here. The way of unlocking cards is through purchasing packs throughout gems. However, the packs you can buy from are incredibly goofy, to say the absolute least. You'll have Stalwart Force, which is a set full of, say, like high rarity staples, such as Twin Twister, Desires, like maybe Shurag, Boral Sword Dragon. You'll have Revival of Legends, which is a very nostalgia-based pack, where you'll have like Blue Eyes, you'll have like Stardust Dragon, and then you'll have Master Pack, which has, additionally, once you pull a super rare or higher version of a card, you'll unlock that card's archetypal secret pack, which is a hidden set that upon 24 hours of pulling that super or ultra rare, you're able to pull cards exclusively from that archetype or group of cards / corner of lore. Say if you pull a super rare Alistair the Invoker, you'll unlock for 24 hours upon pulling the Seekers of Witchcraft pack, which will have the invoked cards, it'll have the Witchcrafter, and it'll have the Magistus stuff, which is, again, just a really weird way of hyping up players to, oh, I really want to build this shit, and then just like sort of goading them into pouring like their mom's credit card all into Invoked or all into Witchcraft or all into any other archetype. It's absolutely really silly in my opinion. Additionally, these packs that I'm talking about do cost a lot. When you're looking at the price of packs, it's about 100 gems per pack. It actually just is 100 gems per pack. And in the store, gems are $2 per pack. You're gonna get 100 gems per $2. And that is a lot. That is a lot when you're considering this is a digital card game. Even Hearthstone is better than this shit. I think Hearthstone's average pack cost is like 60 cents from the last time I played. Even the Welcome Launch Bundle is incredibly underwhelming, averaging about $1 per pack. And although rank up rewards and achievements and the battle pass are okay of way of generating more gems, there's a pretty hard limit on how many gems you can realistically farm. Because solo mode, you're getting maybe about like 200 to 400 gems per gate. It's really distressing when the average welcome bundle cost is $1 per pack. The crafting system also works in a pretty fucky way. Unlike Hearthstone, where you have a universal dust resource that all cards can contribute towards other cards once disenchanted, this game does things a bit differently in where you can only use cards of the similar rarity to provide as crafting material for the other rarity. Basically, this means that commons can only be made out of commons, and URs can only be made out of URs. This can get really fucky when you consider that on average, maybe you're pulling about 1 to 2 URs every 10 packs, and the dismantle to generation ratio is 3 to 1, which can make decks really expensive. This fact, coupled with the fact that almost every generic staple, such as hand traps, is a UR, and only occasionally an SR, really make decks really expensive sometimes. It can make decks such as Lyrilisk Try, a deck that has a really low hand trap count, a really cheap deck to build, since maybe they only have about 5 to 7 URs in their main and extra combined, while decks such as Mech Knight Invoked have a really heavy reliance on these staples, and can easily hit the 20 to 25 UR count. I think this deck specifically is running like 3 Veiler, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, Lightning Storm, Neo's Fusion package, the Rainbow Fusion, the 1 Nibiru, as well as just like the extra deck Celine, Axis Code, Verte stuff. Overall, I really think it could have been a whole lot worse, and I'm glad the crafting system does exist in its current state, and that UR pull rates aren't abysmal. They're actually pretty decent, all things considered, when you compare them to Duel Links. All I'm gonna say is that it's really hilarious when the cosmetics turned out to be like 10 times cheaper than the packs. The solo mode overall, in my opinion, is pretty under rewarding as a whole. At best, you're pulling about 200 gems per gate, and at worst, you're pulling Element Saber commons. No, this is not a joke. Additionally, it takes a long time to really grind out these gates, being that there are 2 separate rewards for clearing dual challenges with your main deck versus the pre-made constructed one that the gate is built around. However, I do feel like it would have been way more thematic and better designed if you were only allowed to use the thematic deck that the gate is built around. Say, for the Element Saber one, you're only allowed to use the Element Saber structure deck that they give you, as well as they could just combine the multi-deck rewards, and you could just maybe improve the gem count to maybe about like 1,000 gems. That would be a way lot better investment of players' time and efforts, in my opinion. The music, surprisingly, is actually sort of a double-edged sword, in my opinion. The music is definitely something that a lot of us, upon first listening to, really popped off and shit our pants upon its initial release and data mining. But going into the game, outside of certain specific tracks that are exclusive to solo mode, and I couldn't data mine for some fucking reason for free views, you'll only be hearing the same 3 songs over and over and over again when you're in ranked gameplay. And I mean literally, you'll only have like 3 songs in that online ranked mode. Speaking of ranked mode grinding ranked mode sucks! From rookie rank to gold rank, there is no rank skipping. Rank skipping just does not exist within this lower elo. However, there is a slight caveat / exception in the game. From gold to platinum, you can rank skip from as early as gold 4 to plat 5. That's a huge gap. That's like 12 games. However, the requirement is 100% unclear. Some people say that it is tied to your win streak, but me and a lot of other people who've had really intense win streaks either don't get this rank skip at all or get it at like gold 2, such as when I got it. It's really just annoying when rank skipping is just this unimplemented, as well as sort of just unclear about how it even works. It just feels very tedious to grind out those first 3 ranks and then just out of nowhere get windmill slammed into platinum, which is like, it's good that they have this rank skipping implementation, but we would just appreciate if we knew how it fucking worked. Minor point here is that the game can definitely feel like a little bit slow, not in like an unresponsive or buggy way, but because the animations that go on. There are a lot of custom and beautiful animations that this game has, as you're seeing on screen, but however, when you're just like me and you want to speedrun ranks, you get really tired of seeing the same animations over and over and over again, and these can easily drag out turns to be like a couple of minutes long when they really should be like maybe a couple seconds. Ideally, Konami could introduce a way to turn off these flare animations for those of us who are like, hey man, great game, I just want to normal summon Alistair without having to watch a fucking League of Legends cinematic. And finally, the game really does just feel unfinished in a lot of areas. It really does feel like Konami could feel that player contention for the game was so high that they just rushed this out maybe a month or 2 early out of the easy bake oven just to calm us down. There are a lot of minor nitpicks that I could go at, such as, you know, the icon frames being literally named like icon_frame07, which is, well, a raw file name. But there are also just another plethora of major things that I feel like last minute thrown in there just to get a finished product out. There are the mates, where you say you have like the Ash Blossom and the Rescue Rabbit, which are these like incredibly detailed stuff out. You also got like Sangan just kind of floating around, and then you just have like, you know, Some of these guys just feel like last minute placeholder models just imported in at the last minute because, you know, why not? And as well as their detail text containing something that's something borderline that's just been like run through Google Translate. Additionally, a lot of the other stuff such as the monster splash art and icons or things that the majority of the time have to be unlocked, whether through solo mode or achievements, which I think is really cool to a degree, but I really would have liked at least a couple more of them to be acquirable through gyms or rank up. It just feels like there are a lot of things just missing from this overall customizable experience overall, in my personal opinion. So, I just did a whole lot of complaining, and you may be asking yourself, Stevie, do you even like Master Duel? Do you think people should try out this game? Stevie, why are you such a piece of shit? And I'll answer two of those questions, and the answer is absolutely. Yes, I do enjoy Master Duel, and yes, I actually do like Yu-Gi-Oh! This game is definitely in a pretty unfinished state that could definitely use some more polishing up, which maybe with like a month or two down the road, they'll be able to get it into its original ideally released state, but as it is currently, it is a perfectly and acceptable, enjoyable Yu-Gi-Oh! Experience that any player looking to get back into the game or is currently playing to continue enjoying it. I would not be surprised if this became the premier way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I've already recommended it to a lot of my beginner friends, as well as people who, again, are obviously playing and are sort of miffy because they looked at Dueling Book and were like, shit. Despite its flaws, I still find within Master Duel a really, really fun and enjoyable experience that any Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan can get behind. It's fresh, fun, and beautiful. Please play it. By the way, please add my friend code /ID. I want the most followers on this platform. Okay, bye!